So last time we ended here, okay, in the model. Okay, please let me first know if my voice is very clear, because I'm not sure. Let me check from the chat. Okay, let's see. Anyone is getting me right? Hello. Okay, let's carry on. So here we have the folder structure last time. Let me close this. We have a folder structure. If you guys can see, we have two folder only. We have a backend and a front end here. So we are working on the backend. So we managed to implement controllers, okay, and then we managed to put model, which is for database structuring, and then we have routes, which is for routing HTTP requests according to the controller. What comes into route is what we have already here in the controller. In the controller we have a user. Okay, we talk about user. How do we sign in a person? So to sign up a person, we start like this. First of all, we need a variable, okay, that's going to handle the data a person is going to put in. So what are those data? So if you are signing up on the form, you need to have email, password, first name, and the last name. Sometimes just username, all the same. So here we are requesting this one from the body. The body here represent the form where the user is making his input or putting his input there. Then we need to verify. We need to use this try and catch block here. So the first thing we will try is what we need to know whether this person is already exist in the system. So if the person exists, or we make first of all a const, okay, a constant variable, we can name it old user. We want to check whether you are an old user, because if you're an old user, we are not going to sign you up. We'll just reject you because you are already exist. So we are going to check. A wait here is coming from async function, meaning you should have a wait processing and wait while the data is being processing in the database. Imagine in the user database, you have more than hundreds of millions of a user there. So we put this await here to wait, and we use this one here, user dot find one, and then we pass the email. User here is coming from a model here. So our model here represent the data for a user, like name, email, password, and then the ID, because we need this ID to identify all the user with it. Okay, so now we have here email. Find one is a MongoDB pre-built function. We pass this email, want to check. Then we say, okay, if this person is old user, return status code 404.js user already exists. Then we are going to check for the second one. Is this person exists and he has a password hash? Then we are going to say const await bcrypt. Bcrypt here is a library for hashing a password, like to make your password very strong, assuming your password is Ali, 4 letter or 3 letter. So by hashing this password and add 12 here, the number of the solidity, how strong you want it to be, or the salt, this one is called the salt, how to make it strong. So if you add this 12, it's going to generate, okay, alphanumeric with the special character to that Ali, and make it 16 digit or 12 digit, sorry, 12 digit, so that nobody will understand what is exactly inside. Next, const result. The result going to await. We now create user dot create. For that case, it's not an old user, it's a new user. We want to create him. We first want to create his email. Next, password, and that password will be hash immediately. And then name here, we are going to use this template literal, okay, this backtick, to add his first name and the last name. So they are going to be under only name. The two will be concatenate there. Then we have a token. A token here enable us to sign someone in a browser in some specific time given. Okay, then we have here rest dot status 200 dot, and then here we pass the JSON result. So here we can pass this one as an object, okay, like this. And then we can respond rest dot status 500 dot JSON message something went wrong, okay, for that case. So this is how we write a sign up let user. Then we have a sign in. A sign in is very similar. So if you want to sign in, what are the things required? You need email and password. So we request from a user, and then we need to compare with the one in the database. So if you do the comparison, if that one does not exist, then you can get message here, sorry, user does not exist. So now we are going to check for the password. Is the password correct? We are going to compare the password entered by a user with the one which is already exists in the database. So if that one exists, then we pass the password entered by the user, and then all the password we compare that one, okay. Sorry, one person is still joining us. Let me accept it. Isaac. Okay, good. So here we have is password correct? We are comparing the password with a big compare. We pass the password entered by a user, and then we have all user dot password is what we already exist in the database. So is the password correct? No, if you see this negation here, this exclamation, meaning if it is not, then you are going to return the information here. Just 1 minute, someone is disturbing me here. So we are going to pass this information here. If the password is not correct, then you're going to return a statement like respond.status 400 JSON. Shit. Okay, so we have this information here. So we have this information here, this function we want to check, okay. We use this if statement. Something important. So we want to check this function here using if statement. So we are going to use this negation here, okay, this exclamation marks. Is the password correct? Okay, this one means if the password is not correct. This opposite here means if it is not correct. So what do? We need to return this response.status code 400, meaning invalid credential, meaning what the person just entered does not match with what which is already exists, okay. Because we ask a person to put his email and the password. First we check if the password he entered is corresponding into the password already exists in the database. If not, then we return this statement here. JSON format is a format way how this thing can be easily read by our JavaScript, okay. So we pass here a message has an object, and then with this is string invalid credential. Then we are going to second statement. We want to get the token and sign in a user. So we sign in a user based on what information it provides. So we have JWT, stand for JSON Web Token, okay, dot sign. We sign the person with what? The old email which is already exist, okay. Old user dot email, this is the email already exists in the database, meaning the user have entered the correct email, and then the ID is also verified. And now we pass the secret, okay. The secret is an option here which is say you have to pass. Then here we express it's in form of time to be expired. So we say here expires in, we mention the time of hour, at least start from 1 hour. So put 1 hour, meaning if the person log in, okay, or sign in, he cannot exceed more than 1 hour. We have to sign him out by the session. Then we have here rest.status 200.json. So the JSON we return here has an object. We return the result. The result contain all the information, the password, the email, and everything concerning the information of the person. then the token here. Then we have catch, we have error, rest.status 500.json, message will be sorry something went wrong. So this is what we did last time, and then in the same thing here we did it already. So we talk about contact, how do we create a contact, so that one is already there. And then for our block, so we are going to implement the routing system. Okay, so to implement the routing system we need two. One we need for auth, or we can say user. This one's for user. .js stand for JavaScript. So what do? We need to import, here we need to import express. Okay, express from express. Okay, express from express. Then we need to have a const, we can call it user routes. Okay, user routes is equal to express dot router. Then we initialize here with this curly brace has a prebuild function. So what happened here, we will do something like this for the case of getting the information of a user. So we'll use router, user router dot get. Okay, that's the first information we use here. Then we can pass the route, or the directory is going to be users. Okay, no, just route comma, we need to have sign in, it's coming from controller here. Then you can make comma, but remember we are not reading the data, we are trying to sign in person. So we are going to put here post when we are submitting a file into a database, we are going to post. Okay, the same thing we can copy and paste. For the case of sign up is the same thing, sign up, like this is coming from router. And then down here we can just do express export default, because we want to use it somewhere. User routes like this. That's how we write this router for that one. So next we need a router for our contact. If someone make a contact from there, so what do? Type here contact.js stand for JavaScript. First of all we need to import express, okay, from express. That's the first option you can do. Next we create a constant variable that can handle contact routes. You can name it anything you want to name, but the format must be the same. So it's going to be express dot router. Okay, you put that parenthesis. After you can have this option contact routes, you can pass contact routes here dot get, for the case of reading all the data from the contacts, those who contact you. So if pass slash here comma, you can use the function which was defined in a controller of a contact. So what are those functions? We go up here, we did not create contact. Okay, so we need to create contact first of all, so that we can be able to go ahead.
Sir, sorry, your screen is not moving here. I don't know it's holding me.
Okay, let me check, maybe the network is having problem. Let me see.
Okay, it should be my network.
Yeah, it should be network. Let me reshare, I guess. How about the rest? Are you guys seeing my screen, or it's also blocked?
It's just hanging. Like I mean
No, it's moving now.
this thing
Okay, James
is moving.
is
Try,
moving. How about you, Brandon, and the rest?
try rejoining.
All right. So let me go back again. How about like this?
No, I'm never seeing anything. Let me just leave and join again.
No.
Okay. How about like this?
Okay, yeah, sharing your screen.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
can see it now.
It's showing.
It's fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All
I
right.
can see it now.
That's good.
It's moving.
Good. So we come back here. So we are going to create a controller for our blocks. Remember, in our page we have a block whereby we can be able to post a news, read the news, delete the news, and edit the news. The same thing, we'll have a contact here. Someone can be able to send us message, we can be able to read his message, we can be able to delete his message, and we can be able even to edit if we want. Okay, so the same thing here we're going to start. So here, first of all, what do we need? We need to import mongoose, because we'll do some verification with that one later. Next, we need to import the contact from the model. Model here is a data structure for our data here. If you can see contact here, like it is simplify the way how we are going to get information. So we get a first name. The type of first name is going to be a string. A string here signify a text particular. If it is number, then it's going to be number from 0 to 9. Okay, but if you want to get number with the +2 and the country code, so that one we need to put it in a string, because a string include even the symbol, the special character within. Okay, then we have email is going to be a string, and then message itself is going to be a string, because it's just a bunch of a text. Okay, so remember here we have contacts as our model constant variable. So we can just bring this one back here. We have to import it on top here. So we are going to make import contacts from where is it coming from? It's coming from controller. So we need to go dash double dot, then you go to the controllers, comma, select contacts.js, yeah, which stands for JavaScript. Okay, like this, import contacts from that one. So it's expected comma, let's see, do we really need this one? From is wrong, so make sure you write everything correct to avoid such error. Like this is now correct. So down here, so what do we need? First of all, we need to create we need to read the data of all the contacts. If it is 1000, 1 million, so what do we do about that? We start by creating export. Okay, we are going to export direct the function export constant function. We will say it fetch user. We are going to fetch all the data concerning user. Fetch contacts, like this, with the s, because they contain an array, is equal to an async function. Okay, with the two option in the parameter, that is rect and respond. Okay, then return an arrow function or fat arrow function with this curly brace or block of code. So here we can put our options here. So it depends, either you pass one parenthesis here and then you close it back here, like this. Any question, raise hand, not raise your hand, just open your microphone, talk directly. Someone join. Let me check from here. Callistas. Okay, so someone asked question. Sir, I have a class coming up. Unfortunately, I will leave you all here. Okay, Brandon, good. You get the video recorded later. Okay. Then we need to go back. So here we request this one here. First, start with this function. We want to fetch the data all related to a user, to a contacts, those who contact us. So we start with the, an async. I think there is C here. Yeah, async, like this. So we put export. Export means I want to export this one just only, or if I have like update, create, delete, so I have to export them differently. If I put export default all, is not a good idea. That means I'm only using one entire page or file. So here we don't need to have that one, like export default, because we have so many functions that we want to use them somewhere, not only in one place. So if it's about using them in one place, then we have no option, we can just make it default. So just coming to your mind, like now you want to fetch a data, what are the options you need to do? First of all, you need a constant variable that's going to say get all contacts. We just want to get. So what do we do here? We say await. Okay, we are going to use these contacts coming from model here. We're going to say okay, contacts dot find, and we put this parenthesis here. Okay, put here semicolon. Await expressing are only allowed within a async function at the level of a module. Good. Do you mean mark function has async? Await. So this is how we do this one. Okay, have quick control plus quick fix. Click on this one. Add async modification. You don't need to have double async. Let's first see. Okay, let's do like this from here up to here. First of all, let's start here an async. Then within we have respond and request. Then here we pass in all the command like this. Then here we can say const get all contacts like this is equal to await. Then we call this model here, which is contacts dot find. Put this function here. It's a pre-built function, that's why we put this curly brace there. So now we have a variable that's going to get for us all the data from the database concerning all the contacts, people who contacted us. So what do we do next? We can do a try and catch. Try and catch is just another way of using if and else statement. Okay, so here we say, okay, since we get everything there, what do? We are going to respond dot status code. So we need to know the status code when something is correct or all fine. It's going to be 200 dot JSON. We want to convert them into JSON format. Then we respond, we get all contacts. Then down here, in case we get some problem with error, so we are going to say here response dot status code. When it doesn't found, it's going to be 404. That's the meaning of 404 always when you try to do some research. Then here you can have JSON. You can have this, sorry, Ctrl Z dot JSON. Then if you want to respond with the error, pass error. If you don't want, then maybe pass your message here has an object message. Then here you can put the message. Maybe you can say sorry, the contacts you are trying to fetch does not exist, doesn't exist, like this. Like this, we have finally done how we can read the data concerning the contacts. Okay, then next we need to create that, we need to create a new user. So what can we do if you want to create a user? So to create a user, let me come in here, say we are creating contacts. Someone is filling the form, we want to save all what he is telling us through the form. Okay, so what do? We first start with export const. After export the const, what do we put? We can say create contacts, like this. Create contacts, it's going to equal to an async function, the same thing, an async function with a request and a respond. You return a function which is the arrow function, return with this curly brace, which is the block of code. So for your information, if you want to create a someone or contact or any identity to someone, you should have a basic container that can handle all that trash work, and then next you can transform them into the correct one or the legit way of doing that. So the same expression we'll be using here. How do we create a person contacts from the form? So we need to have a variable that's going to handle what the person will enter. It's going to be const. Okay, we can call it contact. Let me just call it contact with no s, so that it can make different with the name we have up there. Is equal to what? It's equal to request dot body. Request dot body. This enable us to get the data someone is trying to fill in the form. Okay, this is the first process you should follow. And then next, it will depend. Next, if you want also to destructure from here, there's no problem. So you know what you are getting from a person. First, you are getting his email. If you want that way, it's fine. If you don't want, you are getting his phone. Next, you're getting the message itself. And next, you're getting his name, I think, first name and last name. First name like this, and then you're getting last name. These are options if you want to destructure automatic, but if you just leave it like this, okay, you just go on and remove everything from here and leave it as a contact like this, you'll get it all at once and use this one just to pass it very easily. So what do you do about getting the information of the person? Now this is where it will depend. Okay, so take step by step and follow. So what do we do next after we get it? So we'll try to have another variable that's going to handle this one. Let's say we can have a try and catch here, try catch like this. Now there's this one close here, and then have try and catch this one, and you can put it here. Okay, now you are getting this one. So you have const new contact. I want to call this a new contact because what the person is putting there, I want to put into this variable so that I can save this one. So it's equal to contacts, which is coming from the model here, this one here. We want to use it here also. Contacts is equal to await, so we can just say contacts like this. Contacts dot create then we can pass on all this variable here which we are creating like this. Sorry, contacts with no s, and then here this contact is wrong. You can type it like this, contacts, because this is coming from the variable there, contacts. So next what we can do, we need to save it. So to save it, we will go await. We're going to say a new contact dot save. What do we save? We pass in this entire, everything is saved here. We call this one and then we save it here. Then we can now respond dot status code. Status code is 201, means user created or contact created or document created. It's going to be we want to respond this with JSON, and then in that case we can pass in this new contacts here, which is already saved. We pass it there. Okay, then for the case of error, you can have CLG. If you do want to use another, if you want to just make it simple, make CLG console log, then pass here error. Okay, but if you want to make it very correct, then you leave this one of default console log. You go with the response.json, response.status code. For that status code, you can put 5,000, no 500. Okay, dot JSON Then you can pass your own object like message. You can put your message like this, like something went wrong. This is going to be a problem from there. Something went wrong, meaning there's error in the server. Something went wrong, like this. So this is the way you can create new contacts. So up to here, anyone is still having doubt there?
No, sir.
How about the rest?
Hello, sir.
Okay, so if no one has problems, so we need to advance still. So this is how we can go and read the data from a user, create a user, and then we need to have another two more functions. It's going to be for update user, but it's not important for our case because we don't need to edit someone message. Okay, but I will show you how it can be done. Another one will be for delete contact, update contact, delete contact. So we remember the two more functions. So we are going to do export, the same thing, export const. You can give it like update
nonsense I
update
gal Biden reject meeting sama kena again as media because
update contact
gal Biden reject meeting kena
update contact async is equal to respond request, or you can put in the correct order, request respond is equal to this one here. Then you can pass in the logic here. So an async function, yeah, correct. Then down here you can create this one also, export const. It's going to be delete. You see, when you use tab9, it's going to predict for you what you're trying to put. Contact, which is equal to an async request and respond. So for that case, it's going to be within this block. So we are going to write a logic. How do we update a contact and how do we delete a contact? Okay, just 1 second. Let me respond to someone here. Okay, so you guys are there? My screen is not shared. Minute good. So let's go and finish this one. So we are here. So my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Hope everyone also is getting me there.
Yes, sir.
Great. So we need to create a new user. So what are the procedure we can do? So remember, we're getting always what data from what file or form. So just first have a constant here. Let's call this one update contact. So the name of the variable must not correspond to each other, so we need to differentiate the name. Okay, so First of all, we need to update. Okay, to update someone, we need to have what his ID, because we want to identify the person we wanted to update. There are so many contacts already there. I can send, you can send, James, other people can send, and we need to identify any person by their own ID card or ID number. So we need to get that ID here, and then we assign it into this underscore ID. This underscore ID is going to come from MongoDB, is a special ID. Then we can do here request dot params here we are requesting from the parameters. Okay, like if you go for www slash and then the IDs follow, so that can mean params. Okay, we're getting this from a params. After we get that, and what do? We can say a constant here, const update cont, or let me say update contact all in small letter to differentiate from what is there already. Update contact is equal to what? So what can we do with that one? Then we are going to do request dot body. Okay, the procedure is very simple. First you get the ID, you assign that ID into this ID with no underscore. Next you have this one, update contact here is a variable which is going to get all what a user can put in the form. This one getting from the form, and then this one we are getting from the underscore something, meaning like if you go here, assuming to this one, this application here, www something 3000 there, or your own, then you have IDs. Sometimes you find the numbers here. Yeah, so those numbers are represented by the params. Okay, or sometimes you don't see this ID here, you just get a number here like this. So this one here is represented by the parameters, this forward slash followed by the number, so the ID is a parameter. That's why we want them. And then the second one is representing our form, a form that a person is going to edit, because we want to get that data which already exists in the database. We want to edit that one, so we're going to pull them all back and pass them back into the form. Then we can edit, maybe the name is written correct, or the grammatic error somewhere wanted to correct, something like this. So we get everything from that person, but first we need to make sure that everything is well checked before we go for that one. So what do we do about that one? We have a Mongo here, MongoDB or Mongoose, the database, so we need to use it and get, we're going to say if there is no mongo like this, dot types dot object ID dot is valid, then we pass underscore ID. Okay, underscore ID like this. Then we need to return something. Okay, here we can do return. Then in this return we can return a message mostly. Okay, so what do we return? It's not found. What can we do about it? We can say a response dot status. For the case if it is not found, is 404. It is very common in the default behavior of the browser. And then we can do something. Do we want to return with JSON, but we want to send this one just into API request? We're going to dot send here, and then we can maybe put a backtick like this and say sorry, no contacts match with patch ID.
So I need to make mistake with the contact.
You say something?
No, nothing. Is that
Then here you can pass
not so?
alright, so you can pass this underscore ID here. Okay, that's how this one is
I
to be
think
checked.
you made mistake.
Hello,
I used mistake on the contact.
I don't get you. Please, can you try to raise your voice?
You made mistake on the contact.
You type it in the chat.
He wrote sorry, no.
Like you see,
He wrote
you mean for
sorry,
the
no.
contacts.
Here. Okay. Sorry, no contact match with the search ID like this.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
So this how this one to be checked here. Use this if statement here. If there is no mongoose.types dot object id is valid, then we are going to return this one, send this one into http sorry no contact match with the search id. And then the reason why I pass this dollar symbol here, we want to get a dynamic id number that person has tried to edit. Is going to be sent here, all the id, and we can see them in our console log browser. Okay, then next what can we do after we check that one? Then we can have a const here. This const is going to say let me say contact, going to be contact to be updated. We want a contact that's going to be updated. So what are the values that we can pass, or the logic, so that we can now handle everything using that one? So that one will simply be is going to be await. Okay, await is going to be contacts. It's coming from model. Okay, contacts dot find it's going to be a special find by id, because we want to do something. Find by id and update a special one. Then here we can pass everything that we want to update. Find by id and update, yeah, like this. Then we need to pass all what we want to update. What are we updating? One, the id we pass in, and then next we pass this update contact, this variable here that handle everything someone has just typed in, try to edit. Pass this one into this parameter, and then next after we pass that one, we can have option comma, not semicolon, comma, pass this curly brace here, make new like this, and then make it true to accept a new entry, and then we can close that one there. Then down here, okay, down to this end of this parenthesis, then we can have we need to respond this one. We can pass maybe try and catch again, yeah, try catch just down here. Then within our try catch, when it is true information there, then we need to respond only with the person being updated. So updated is just 201, the same thing. We can say response dot status code, which is going to be 201, okay, dot json. Then we can pass all the data which is already updated, or contact to be updated. We can just pass it all within here like this. After that one, we are done. We just come down here. When there is error here, we just make a response dot status like this. After this status, I can pass, what should I pass there? 209. That error which is not created is 209 dot json. Maybe I can pass my message. JSON, I can pass object like this. You can say message. In this case, I don't want to specify message, but I'm getting my message just exactly what's the reason why it failed to update. Okay, so this is how we can write this logic for the update contact. Okay, so here someone have problem. Hello.
No, sir.
Problem, good.
But the call will end in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. So I'm sending you link so that I can finish backend. Okay, I'm sending
Okay,
you
sir.
into the web group developer. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for
I'll
reminding
find
me.
myself.
Okay, just prepare to join. Let me. Okay, let's carry on. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. So we are going to create a function logic for delete a contact. Okay, just single click and delete everything. Okay, so this is that the same thing. We have post delete contact async with two parameters of rec and request, the same logic how we write that one. So here we need to have the same thing here, like if you want to delete, we need the ID, of course. You should have the ID. Just copy this one and paste it here. And then next we need to have this statement here, if mongoose spawn up to here. Okay, this one here, get it here, copy this and then paste it here. The same thing, we don't repeat things twice. Then reaching here, we just write a logic. So what can we do after that one? Then we can go here, we don't need a try catch. Here we can just call our await, and then we can call the model name. So you can just type here await, since it is an async await. It's going to be contacts, contacts like this, dot delete, delete. Okay, but it's not going to be div, it's going to be find. Sorry, it's going to be find and remove. Also, you need to find by ID, find by ID like this, and remove. Want to remove it completely, it's not going to stay somewhere, remove. Then here we can pass the ID we are removing. Okay, that's how this one is the most easiest function. Then here, no, we are not putting this underscore, we are putting the ID we are getting from up here. If you remember this ID here, which is renamed this one, so we are deleting this one here. After we delete that one, so what's next? We can just respond this one to our HTTP. I say res dot send. Maybe you can do that .json, no issue. Dot send, and then we need to send something. Maybe you can say contact was successfully deleted by saying contact is a singular, is was, this pass was successfully removed or deleted, all the same, but you can use the word deleted like this. So this is how we can implement this function. Let me see, I think I need to share this one in the group there. Control A, yeah, this works on. Yes, paste in there. So let me close it back. Close it back like this. Okay, so we have that one there. We have controller for this one. So we need to go back to our routes, which is the last part here, route for contacts. So if you go to slash, okay, get app.get slash, here you just pass the name of the function you want to get. First of all, you just type here fetch, I think it was fetch contact. You see here is even predicting it's coming from controller, so click on that one. It will be import automatic app here, fetch contacts, but here make sure you pass the extension .js, because if you don't pass it, it will not work. Next, just copy this one like this, and then for the next is post. If you are creating, it's going to be post, so you can rename this one to post like this. Sorry, this post should be here, post, and then here is going to be create contact. It's coming here, you click. Here is going to be update, is going to be patch. thc because I want to get the exist data and edit that data. So it's going to be update contact here. Next, what do I need? I need to delete. So I type delete here, not remove but delete. These are a special function. Then here you can put delete contact like this, coming from controller. By click like this, it will automatic import them all up here. You see, delete, fetch, update. So when I save, everything is good. Then I have just to export this particular function there, which is contact route. So I can do here export contact route, but I have to do it export default by adding .here default because I'm exporting the entire file default like this. Now the error has gone. So where do I use it? After writing the controller, middle, this one, model, so to connect them all into our root application, which is here, the index.js. So down here we are going to say here app.use, because we have it, we're not going to get, we're going to use it. Our entry point for this contact is going to be / contacts with the plural, okay, comma, then I will put the contact route, it's coming from routes. Then up here I have to add the extension .js like this. Now I have successfully include this one into our entry page. So if I go down here, okay, I'll be able to have cd into two parts. One is for the backend. Now I'll be in the backend because this is a very nice way of putting a folder structure. Let's first close everything there like this. We have these two folder. One is this backend, I cd to that one. If I want to have another, I'll just press on this one here to split this terminal and wait. Here I have to, so you can see here it's in backend, I have to cd double dot means go backward twice. Then I have to cd into front end like this. Then cls, I will have front end and back end. So if I want to run front end here, npm run development, that's dev. Here I can just put npm start like this. If you see there is error here, npm start error, then we go to our backend, go to package.json, so that you can see the command is dev. Okay, but I have to say here npm run dev, npm run dev. Okay, that's why I want to show you guys all the errors, so don't get scared there whenever happens. So now you can see if I click on this one, our app is going to work, but here is crashing. So we need to see where is the error coming from. So make sure you read everything. You can see here import contacts from controller JSX request module name default does not provide an export name, this one. So let's go into our controller. Inside controller, let's go and see contacts. Okay, the import we do, that one does not name default. Okay, let's first go and see in our model contact. The contact we have export default contacts, very good. Then let's go to our controller, click on contacts, import default contacts from controllers contacts.js. So we need to understand what's going on here still. You can see import contacts from dash controller, which is here, /contact.js object contact.js does not provide an import name default. Meaning if we go to let's see which one is talking about the default. Let's first of all enter into controller. Okay, let's see, export cons create, export cons update, export cons delete. Everything seems to be okay. Export cons fetch is correct. So here I have contacts. Let's try to rename this one and get it back. So we are in our Mongoose controller. So we go to controllers like this, slash, we can have contacts .js. Now if I save this one and see here, the error still crash and it's still pointing full stack contacts here does not have export default, so it's likely to be in the model contacts here. Let's see, do we have really contacts import default? So we have contacts here and here export default, so we have a default, so you can easily use that on contacts.models.contacts mongoose.model contacts. So this one seems to be correct. Let's just see the error very well. Line number 2, we're saying line number 2 here, contacts.js controller, line number 2, backend controller, contact line number 2, controller contacts line number 2, line number 2, which is this line here. This is default import contacts, which is correct. So in that line, the request module controller contacts does not provide an export name default. That means what they're saying, in a model you did not put export default here, but it's already exists. Let's see, what do we have here? Contact. Let me first try to make this clear again. Let's bring it here, one line, and you can say let's see, now the second crash will be very terrible. Let's see. Now let's add here export default contacts. Write it in a correct way how it is written. Contacts, save, and say it crash again. Okay, let's go everything. First of all, here is correct, checked. Go back to controller, everything is well imported. Let's go to routes, contact, everything is well imported from contact, and export default contact routes. Let's go to index entry, here routes contact.js, it's correct, imported, and contact routes, everything is correct there. So let's see another problem. Provide an export name default. Okay, let's make this one explicitly export. Let's go, instead of make default, if that is the case, put here export like this. Now this one is exported. Let's go to our controller. Now this is the real error, supposed to be like this. Then here we can make it explicitly import by making this one like this, add curly brace, and see here it crash. They say the request module does not provide an export name contacts. There's no export called contacts. redirect it correct. Contacts. Okay, let's copy this and go back to model and rename with this one, whether they are going to be correct or not. Double click. Just only 3, 1, 2, 3, and replace it, whether it crash or not. Here type rs means restart. Again it crash. Go down and read very well. Always they say does not provide an export name contacts. Let me see, do we import something on top here or not? Okay, here we should add this function here, mongoose dot schema, like this. That's how it's supposed to be. And type here arrest, and then let's return it back to our default. Export default contacts, like this. And then let's get back to our controllers. Let's remove the curly brace out, like this. Save. Now let's see how we can use it. Using it the correct way. Contacts. Let's see if the contacts matches. It matches. And then here we get the same error. Scroll down. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Syntax error, the request module. Let's first of all try to stop this one so you see it very clear. Here we have the request module controller slash contacts does not provide an export name default. Import contacts from controller slash contact.js, and then let's first of all do it like this. Control C, CLS, npm run dev from beginning. Good. Then we can see here syntax error, the request module dot dash controller does not provide an export name default. The export is default already. The export here is default. Export default contacts. Let's see what else is the error there. We have mongoose.schema. We pass everything, first name, second name, last name, contacts, mongoose.models.contacts. If not, create the new one, mongoose.model contacts, comma, contact schema, which is coming from up here. This one is coming from this one, and here. Let's also check them step by step. Let's go to our routes. First of all, contacts in the routes. Here I have export default contact routes, which is correct. Okay, this one is fine. Let's go to model. Let's check user here, mongo.models.user, mongo create new user. the schema and export default user. Good. Let's check contact block. Block we will implement later. Blocks, the same thing is correct. Check contact. We are getting first name, second name, last name, phone number, subject, email, message. Have const mongoose.model.contact, models.contact, mongoose.model singular. We are creating one contact. Export default contact. This one is export default. I don't know why they pausing that one. Let's check controller. In the contact we have to import our model from there. That's import contacts from contacts, and then we use it. Fetch, export, const default, export, create, export, update, export, delete. And here we don't see anything wrong about that one. Here the impose syntax error, the request module controller / contact.js does not provide an export name default. So they're sending us in the controller contacts line number 2. We go to controller, go to contacts, we go to line number 2, which is having this problem here. So let's try to comment this out, and then let's come here to where we use contacts like this. Let's try to remove s and add s here and see. Now it's going to predict it's coming from this one. Click on that, then let's go and add the extension here, .js. Let's now see whether it will crash or not. We need to wait and see whether it will crash or not. So it's loading. If you can see here, definitely there is error in the first option. What we have been using, we are importing from controller and we are within controller. This one is very wrong. We need to import it from a models, not controller. That's why we got a lot of errors. So here you can see there's another type of errors which happen to be. So this one is saying there is a problem with your file failing to compile. Mango error, path authentication failed. Yes, this one mean the link for MongoDB, okay, is having a problem with a password, the authentication. So we are going to get that one. So I can see here the errors of before has gone, because here we want to get it from model, not from the controller. So here delete this one, and now we are good to go. Now we are going to get the authentication is here. We're talking about this one here. They say it's not correct. The authentication means the password. So let's go and get it, that one, so that we will come back again. Hit this one. Let's go to this, click here, MongoDB, sorry, MongoDB, press enter and wait. Then we are going to do try to connect. Okay, press on connect here, which is sign in. You guys have created account last time. Click on that one. We're going to redirect to log in. Okay, here I have option. Last time I signed mine with the Google, so I have to wait and see when the Google button is active. I'll just click on the Google and wait. Click on the Google button here. I think the network also play roles here. I'll just be patient. Okay, this side cannot be reached. I think we need to wait. Control plus R. Hope you guys are still following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's error here. Network. Just wait. Let's log in. Okay, here we can wait until the Google is active. It's active but loading. Okay, press like this on the Google. Then what the going to enable us to connect to the Google. I want this one for school. It will depend on the network you guys are going to use. Sometimes it will be very faster than this one also. So this is your dashboard where you can be, and then you can see here connect. Let's click on connect here. Let's go to driver, scroll up, copy this one. Okay, then go to your code, click close, and go to your visual code. The visual code here, you are going to replace everything with what you just copied. Like this, test. Then you can modify from here up to the question mark. Up to the question mark. Maybe type code for you like this. This should be the name of my database. So you can see there is password here inside this tag. So I have to go inside the tag. The tag will be here. Then to get the password, I have to go here network access and set my network access. So mine is yes active. If yours is not active, click on maybe delete. Then click add IP address. Then click on allow access from anywhere. Press here, press confirm. Like this is going to tell you active in some few seconds to come, or 1 minute. Then let's go to database access. This is where we can change our password. Click on that one, on database access. Click on edit like this. You put password, edit password, and type your password here. I'll just type a very nice password like code. For here, I don't want to use number. I just wanted to use it for you, like this, somehow long. Click here on show code for you. Maybe I can just copy this one. Then I can click here on hide. Okay, for that one. Then I can go here and click on update user. Now it's already updated. No thanks. I have to go back to my Visual Code Studio here. Then here you can see there is this tag. I will remove all the tags out, and then I can put this password there and save. Now I have to go back to my terminal here. It's my terminal. I can do Ctrl+C. I can restart npm run def and press enter and wait. It's going to start and it's going to load. You can see here application is running on port 5000, meaning everything is successful. The authentication is very correct. So Anyone wanna ask question concerning connecting a database string into our application? Hello?
No, sir, not in question.
Okay, then if you go here into index, you can see here index file like this. You can see this message here: your app is running on port, and then this 5000 here is dynamical coming from env file dot environmental variable. We put a special variable there, and you can see this 5000 is coming from here. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
if reach up to this level, we are all done and we are ready to go and connect this one to our front-end application. So we are done with the logic in a backend for contacts, like how someone can create a contact. Then remain middleware here. This middleware will be like, sorry, go to middleware, click on this, not like this, middleware, right click, new file, so go to the index.js. This one is only for signing in person. Okay, so this one we can write, I don't know, the time has gone already. I think we will stop here. And then next, we remain only with this file having like 16 lines of code, not many. We are going to connect them into our application. Go inside source. Within source, we are going to create this folder. One, we need a reducer folder. And then the second here, we need to have actions. This is where the logic are passed from backend. Actions. And then it's a file, sorry, delete this one. It's a file, not it's a folder, not file. Delete. Content source. Okay, here you need to have actions, not in the backend. Okay, front-end source here. Click, right click, folder. It's going to be actions. Press enter again here. Folder, this will be API. Okay, and then one more will be constant. It will help us fire the action types using the constant like this. So we are going to finish this. After this one, we will be able to complete the full stack application. You can sign in a person, you can create and you can edit everything. You can create a dashboard whereby you can see all the data coming from the user using our password to log in and sign up. Okay, so I think for this one maybe we can stop here because we have gone beyond time, and then tomorrow we'll work in the front end. Okay, the other Saturday I think we might almost finishing or finish even there, something like 2 more or 3 more lecture like this. We will finish everything. Okay, so I will upload the video and will be shared with everyone in the group so that someone who did not attend can catch up with us. Okay.